Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about how exactly you can show rather than tell for your college essays. So I heard this advice all the time when I was applying for college, and I didn't exactly know what that meant because I didn't really have a lot of good examples to look at for exactly what it means to show your experiences rather than telling your experiences. And it's said so often that it feels like a cliche when somebody says show don't tell, and I've seen people who just get feedback and literally the only feedback they get is just these big red marks that says show don't tell. And so today I kind of want to show you exactly what that means with some examples of some excellent use of show and some average use of show and more of tell, and you can kind of see the difference. So let's look at this first example of this prompt where it says some students have a background or story that is so central to their identity that they believe their application would be incomplete without it. If this sounds like you, please share your story. So that's the prompt. And basically, they're asking you to write about something that is very central to your identity. And so you can see that this student chose to write an opening hook that has a lot of description and detailed language. And the opening hook is the briny breeze wafted over the dunes and hit my face, a reminder of the ocean's proximity. I could hear the soft, rhythmic sounds of the waves crashing on the shore, a natural symphony that filled me with wonder and nostalgia. It was a day that would change my life forever. So you can see that there's a lot of descriptive language. They're kind of explaining how the ocean is nearby, how there's certain aspects that they were really loving, which is the soft, rhythmic sound, the natural symphony, their feeling of wonder and nostalgia. And they kind of lead up to this thing that this is the day that they would change their life forever. And so you can kind of already set the expectation that this essay is probably going to be about their love for the ocean or their love for the beach or how kind of they found their natural wonder in life. And so a good opening hook always sets your expectation for what you're going to read for the rest of the essay. And I can kind of have that expectation. And I really like this sort of description of what's going on. And so another way they could have hooked me in was just by saying, I was at the ocean and I really liked it. But you can see that by showing this rather than telling it, it becomes a lot stronger and a lot more impactful for me to read. So that's kind of what it means to show. And this student's thesis statement would be, growing up in a seaside town, I developed a deep connection to the natural world and a sense of wonder and curiosity about the mysteries of the universe. So again, this is kind of going to be an essay about their love, their how they discovered a love for the mysteries of the universe and the natural world. And so I think that this could be a pretty good essay if they continue to try to show what stories and experiences that they've had exploring the natural world and how that's affected them as a person. So um, yeah, and so if you the ideally that the rest of the essay would be using rich sensory language and vivid imagery to kind of bring the setting and the narrator's experiences to life. I would be talking about the salt tang of the ocean air, the rhythmic crash of the waves on the shore, the natural symphony, and it kind of creates this depth and complexity in the narrative. And you can see that there's metaphor and symbolism, and eventually they're probably going to talk about how the waves represent the ebb and flow of life. And you can see that there's kind of showing with this descriptive detail their love for the ocean and what exactly they were feeling. And so a good way that you can show rather than tell is just think about your five senses and try to bring your reader into the event or the experience that you were having. How do you do that? Well, you can just try to describe the details that were going on and then add metaphor or symbolism, uh, rich sensory language, vivid imagery. All these things will help you to show rather than tell. Okay, let me show you a little bit more. And again, the theme of this essay is the transformative power of connecting to the natural world and cultivating a sense of wonder and curiosity about the mysteries of this universe. So I think that if the student finished this essay, this could be a pretty strong essay, given their ability to use these kinds of writing tools to show rather than tell. So let me show you like a little bit more of an average example of a show don't tell. And this prompt is discuss an accomplishment, event, or realization that sparked a period of personal growth and a new understanding of yourself or others. The opening hook is, as I stepped onto the stage, the bright lights blinded me. Sorry, that should be blinded me. My heart racing with excitement and fear. I knew I was about to do something that should change me forever. So let me just read that again, sorry. As I stepped onto the stage, the bright lights blinding me, my heart's racing with excitement and fear, I knew I was about to do something that would change me forever. And a good tip for a opening hook is that you should never have to read an opening hook twice. You should never have to read any sentence twice to kind of figure out what it's saying. And so you can see, like, as I stepped onto the stage, the bright lights blinding me, my heart racing with excitement and fear. It's a little bit confusing where the actual subject and verb are. And so I would suggest that the student kind of move this a little bit more to the front so that it's not so confusing. And here, this is not a bad sentence. Again, this is not excellent, but it's definitely not bad. You're still put onto the stage. You kind of see what they're having, but this is a little bit of cliche. My heart racing, the bright lights blinding me, and so the more of a unique verb you can pair with the noun, like the heart racing, the light blinding. These are kind of very normal verbs that go with those nouns. But the more unique you can make these verbs and the more descriptive they are, the more kind of show you do. And that's kind of how you can add some energy to your opening hook. This is their thesis statement, which is through my experience of performing in public, I have learned the importance of perseverance, self-discipline, and the rewards of pushing oneself beyond one's comfort zone. So again, I think this is a perfectly fine thesis statement, and I think that this could be a really great essay. But what I would try to tell the student is, if you want to make this an excellent standout essay, try to focus on one of these takeaways and kind of describe the story of how performing in public, your moments, your growth, your journey, your story, these little moments of when you performed in public and how you kind of grew along that journey, and choose one of these impacts and describe how that journey culminates in maybe self-discipline, or maybe perseverance, or maybe you finally discovered the reward of pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone. And so that's what would make this a standout essay. Um, and so uh, Again, the theme of this essay is personal growth and transformative power of pushing beyond one's comfort zone through perseverance and self-discipline. So again, I think that this could be a really great essay, and I would just say that if you want to look at kind of what how to show rather than tell, this is a pretty quick and easy video that can kind of show you, using writing tools, kind of using descriptive language, using metaphor, using symbolism, using rich sensory language. Those are all ways to kind of add a little bit more of the show and a little bit less of the tell. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments down below, and I'll be happy to get back to you. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.